Hello, hello, hello. Match preview is back. Ron is with me as always, and Richie from Doop Cast is gonna bring you guys the Philadelphia information tonight. You guys saw Richie.
Excuse me. The
What?
first place Philadelphia information, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. And while we're at it, Richie has a huge crush on Andre Blake. So, in case you didn't watch last week, there we go. First place Philadelphia. Richie's gonna bring us that information. You threw me off. I had my opening thing ready to go. So we'll just jump in. Richie, first of all, tell us what you think the starting 11 will be. Or actually, let me take a step back. Tell us how your form has been since we've seen you last, whatever that was 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, unbeaten still, top of the East, as you well know. Had a little spate where we had more draws than IKEA there. I think we had like 3 or 4 in a row, but came out with a win against our rivals, our real rivals, DC United, on Friday night. So that was good to get back to winning ways, and St. Andre, my man crush, kept us in that game with an amazing reflex save. We didn't play the best football, and we haven't been playing the best football these last 2 or 3 games, but they've managed to, eke out draws, away against some tough teams, for example, Montreal and Seattle, and then when you come home, you expect to win, maybe, but we had a pretty torrid time of it, but still managed to pull out a last, extra time, stoppage time goal from Richie Marquez, a centre back who had a finish that looked like Thierry Henry. No, with his foot, not with his head. It was a beauty. It was a striker's finish. So I think that's good signs for us in that we're not playing too great, but still managing to grind out a win. Whereas this Union team of seasons past would have just shat the bed and we would have been miserable. So it's a new era. It's all because of Ernie Stewart here. Where it's feel the earn up here in Philadelphia.
All right. And so, what is the starting 11 that you expect Philadelphia to roll out on Wednesday? And will it be a full starting 11, or will you rest because of the double game week?
Resting is not usually something that Jim Curtin does. He tends to find a horse he likes and then just ride and ride and ride it. We'll be, playing the 4-2-3-1 because apparently, Jim Curtin has a gun to his head, and if he doesn't play 4-2-3-1, he's going to get a bullet between the eyes. So it will be. The only question is in central defence. We have Richie Marquez, who I bigged up last time I was on. He's in the form of his life, and he certainly deserves a pay raise after seeing the salaries that they're earning. The fullbacks is maybe an issue, but Keegan Rosenberry, keep an eye out for him playing at right back. There's Rookie of the Year talk for him. He's very good going forwards. Can be a little dodgy one-on-one defence, but he's improved that area of his game. The other question will be who's going to partner Richie Marquez in central defence, either Ken Tribbett or Josh Yarrow, another rookie. He actually played with Keegan Rosenberry at Georgetown, so those two know each other's game. Yarrow's been up and down, so that could be an area if Josh Yarrow is playing at centre back. That's something that someone with the canny nous and experience of Kaká could maybe give him some fits. Other up front, it's going to be the same. CJ Sapong ploughing a lone furrow up front, and the three behind him will probably be Sebastian Letou, Chris Pontius on the left, and in the middle, Tranquilo Barnetta, who is really coming into some tremendous form. He's a Swiss international, though he's not been picked for the squad in the Euros this summer, which I'm happy about. But he's a very experienced, very, very skillful player, played in the Bundesliga before coming here, so keep a lookout for him as well. And then the two behind that, it could be, that's the only area that tends to change a bit, whether it's Brian Carroll or whoever they're rotating in there. But that will be the four. And of course, between the sticks, Jamaican Jesus, Andre Blake, he's going to be there, keeping it all out.
Well, first of all, so when does Blake leave for Copa?
Not yet. Not yet. He's not going to play in the friendly with Chile on Friday. So we're not sure yet if he's going to be there or not, but he should be. But we're not sure.
Okay, so he'll probably be, if he plays versus us, it'll be his last game before he leaves.
Yeah, that's the one. So you can hope that something happens with him and they have to get taken out. If not, then we have an able deputy, but nothing in the same division as Blake. So if he's in between the sticks, I don't fancy your chances. If he's not playing in goal, then you've got a better chance. In all seriousness, he's off the charts. He really is.
Okay, and then I know you're trying to go, so I just have two more quick questions. My first one is CJ Sapong. I know he started out of the gates really hot and has kind of cooled down the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think he only has 1 goal. How do you think he'll take advantage of whatever mix and match center back pairing we have?
Well, that is the thing. The Union, they're still relying on this. And I don't know whether your centre back's going to be able to handle what CJ brings. He's very, very physical, and he'll go up. A lot of the Union tactics, especially if we don't get the width from the fullbacks, is lump it up and have CJ holding it up or knocking it down with his back to goal. So if your centre back struggle with a big physical presence, then CJ, we could see a return of the running man celebration from CJ in this one. Yeah, I think he's due a goal. He's due a big performance, and if your centre backs are a little dodgy, then he will feast on that. If he doesn't get any support from the midfield, that will really be the key for him. If he's too isolated and the runners aren't allowed time to come up there, if you do a man marking job in the midfield, then that can negate a lot of that. And that's what DC United did so effectively against us Friday. They really sort of manned up, clogged the midfield, and we couldn't find a lot of room in there. So if Adrian Heath can stop throwing his little fits and stamping his little tiny size 5 feet on the sideline long enough to notice that, then you might stand a chance.
All right, I'm trying not to laugh. All right, and then my only other question, because then I know you got to go, is we just came off a really good game, and Kaká was all over the place, and
yes,
I think he could take advantage of your defensive mids, and you just said that was the spot to watch. So how can he take advantage of them? Like, last time we talked, you said that if we were going to just sit back and counter, Philly would be susceptible to that. But obviously we didn't do that. We never do that. So how do you think that in an attacking style of play can they get tripped up?
Yeah, it's movement that tricks our back four are very, very young, and so the midfielders who are sort of guarding them in front of them, that they tend to play very conservatively. So if you get good movement off the ball, for example, when I think of the likes of like David Villa, when we play against New York City FC, his movement off the ball just gives our lads fits. And if Kaká can do that, I don't know if he's going to be playing up there on front on his own or if he's going to be dropping deeper. Then I think for me it'd be better with Kaká playing higher so that his movement can draw the defensive midfielders away and create a matchup in that centre of the pitch. If he can move, then our defence is obviously going to key on him, focus on him, and that'll leave some room for the likes of Breck Shea and so to come into those spaces. That for me will be your best bet at finding success. When it comes to, I saw the game, I saw the way Kaká played, and set pieces. Obviously, he's got a great delivery on set pieces. You're not going to get a lot of change out of that because Richie Marquez is a beast. Just he's winning more in the air than the Red Baron. You're not going to get a lot of change there. So for me, your best bet would be quick movement up front and try and pull those defensive midfielders away from shielding the back four.
All right, and since you're not going to be here at the end of the show to do your score prediction, you can give it to us now.
What? So you see, if St. Andre's in goal, I would go for a 1-0. If it's not St. Andre in goal, I go for a 2-1 Union win. Okay.
All right. Well, Richie, thank you very much. Just tell everybody where they can find you if they want to listen to your podcast one time.
All right. Just go to doopcast.com or anywhere you get your RSS feeds for podcasts. Just look up Doop Cast and enjoy the fun. It's a bit sweary, though, so don't let the kids listen to it.
All right. Well, Richie, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night living your rock star lifestyle.
I'll do my best.
I will look forward to speaking with you again. I think we see you guys one more time towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we'll go one more time, so we'll talk to you then, fellas. All the best.
All right. Thanks, Richie. Bye now.
See you.
All right, so Richie is out, and the rest of the show is left to me and Ron. We all know that this is the part of the show you wanted to see anyway. I mean, who cares about Philly? We all know they're not going to finish in first place. Okay, let's just be honest with each other. So, with that said, we played really good against Montreal. I thought that the defensive subs actually changed the game, even though they were unintentional, but that is what it is. Ron, you think we'll see a 4-2-3-1 as usual on Wednesday?
It depends on if Nocerino's in there. I mean, it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. He kind of turns it into a 4-3-2-1 because he can't really play a left winger position. But as far as the lineup goes, I think this team really matches up well against Philly. They beat us last game with a kind of a last minute free kick, but the thing that gives our defenders problems is those quick guys, like whether it was a Duro or Villa or whoever, that they get in and around our center backs and just a nice little through ball slot, and they'll slot it home. CJ Sapong isn't going to run past you too many times. He is physical presence, and I think Redding and Mateos will have to toughen up a little bit. But I don't think we have to be, completely weary of the speed that usually bites us. So, but if I was Adrian Heath this week, you have the choice. Obviously, you have a game Wednesday and you have a game over the weekend. So you have to probably do a little bit of rotation. I don't think Heath is that big into rotating players, but I think there will be a little bit. And for me, this game's at home. So I don't see the point of bringing in your reserves for the home game. I think you go all out and you try to get 3 points at home, because going on the road is always so difficult. Why risk not getting 3 points by playing your reserves at home and then putting your best players on the field on the road, even though it's NYCFC? I would just rather concentrate on getting 3 points here, and then whatever you get on the road is a bonus. So I would like to see Molino will come back in for sure. Rivas looked pretty worn out after 90 minutes, and Vinter got to come off early, so you might see Vinter and Molino up front with Kaká and Lairn, and then I think the back six is pretty much the same, except Alston will obviously play. Higuita, Carrasco, Shea, Mateos, Redding. What do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think if there's ever a Luke Bowden game, I think this might be the Luke Bowden game. I really want to see Alston again, because I thought his defensive positioning was excellent when he came on, and I thought
Alston is starting for sure because Ramos is out.
Okay, they've ruled Ramos out?
Yeah.
Okay, that new information to me. I've been sitting at the computer making videos all day and didn't know that. So yeah, then I think this could be a Luke Bowden game, though. I'm really happy Alston's going to play. Actually, I have nothing against Ramos. I love Ramos's fire. Often at times it's too much fire, but would rather have someone with too much fire than no fire. But I thought Alston's defensive positioning was stellar when he came on, and I thought that I thought Piatti in the first 35 minutes was really was terrorizing Ramos, and once Alston came in, I think that he did a much better job versus Piatti. So that makes me feel good. I think if there's ever a Bowden game, this has a Bowden game written all over it against a team where you're going to want to put Kyle Lairn in a scoring position, hopefully on some crosses. I thought Shea was not the best last week, or the week before, or the week before, or the week before, or no. Okay, I'm just walking around now. And then across the middle, I think Ron, you hit it on the nail on the head there. I'm hoping it's not a Nocerino game, and up top's a no-brainer. So I don't think the lineup is that much. And just we'll just touch two quick things, and then we'll close this out, because it's not, we got to do it again on Thursday. So first of all, I want to ask you, if it is Bowden over Shea, how do you think that could change this game?
I don't. It depends. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit better of a defender back there, but I mean, but it's a home game, so you should be trying to attack, which is kind of my point earlier of playing, the best possible lineup you could. But I do agree. I mean, with all the fixtures being clogged up right now, it would probably make sense to give Breck Shea a game off, and but whether you do that Wednesday or Saturday. I don't know. Probably makes more sense to do it Wednesday. But Bowden, I mean, he's going to give you good deliveries. He's not going to give you the pace to get upfield. I think Shea is going to look a lot better with Vinter in front of him than Rivas. When Rivas is in front of you, you're just not going to overlap Rivas. He's too fast. He plays too high. So it kind of takes away Breck Shea's ability to attack. What it does do, though, when you have like a Rivas up there, is it keeps Breck Shea out of trouble for the most part. It makes them focus on Rivas, so much attack isn't coming at Breck Shea. So you could go both ways on that. With Bowden, I think you'll get your solid performance, and probably you don't have those couple facepalm moments every game like you do with Shea. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind either one really.
Okay, and I hope that. My hope just moving forward generally, and I know you're going to share the sentiment with me because, we've worked together for so long now, and is that Rivas is going to play on the left wing because, I thought he was way better than anybody else that's played there all season. And I don't know what took so long to get him there for whatever reason, but I'm happy he played well. And I said last week, I don't care who's on the field as long as the team makes the changes to win. And I thought defensively, we actually we played good defense in the second half. So what do you think why did that happen out of nowhere?
The good defense?
Yeah.
It's because they took Seb Hines off the field. Not sure why Adrian Heath bothered to start him in the first place. That's a discussion for another time, and this should probably be a mostly positive show today. But yeah, I think, Redding is just a better defender than Seb Hines is right now. He's a lot more athletic, and Seb Hines he can't turn and run with attackers in this league. He just can't do it. So the defense got a lot better, but the defense got a lot better because the offense got a lot better. I mean, we controlled the ball a lot in the second half. We were attacking at will almost. We were creating chances. So that kept Montreal on the back foot, which means they couldn't concentrate on just attacking Rafael Ramos for 45 minutes like they did in the first half. So it's like I said last week, Orlando City played better as a team in the second half. I thought the first half, the problem was everybody was trying too hard and everybody was playing as an individual, especially Adrian Vinter. Like, you saw him make a couple fouls and you're just like, come on, dude. And I just thought everybody was trying to make that play. And it's pressing, that they haven't been in a bad run of form. It's understandable. But I thought in the second half, once the defense tightened up, they got more possession. Higuita just took over the game in midfield. And eventually they played more as a team and they had more collective possession going up. They had Rivas flying down the wing. They had Kyle Larin working hard, Kaká pulling the strings. And that's the vintage Orlando City that we love to see.
And just my last point, and then we'll do score predictions and get out of here. You mentioned just now that Higuita took over, and we all noticed that. And we always say it's Higuita and Seren that is what makes our team go, and is as Jerry Updike would say, is the genome of our team. But I thought Carrasco came in and played a tidy shift in the Seren role. I thought he sat there. He didn't do anything that was like, oh man, what is he doing? And he didn't do anything that was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. But I think that's more the player that he is. And I thought his shift was extra tidy. And I thought he did a good job sitting there. Well, what did you think about Carrasco? Because, all over social media, we've not heard anything about Carrasco from the game other than, oh yeah, Carrasco played.
Well, Carrasco is probably one of Orlando City's most underrated players this year. I think that last week I talked about, I don't know if we talked about it on Match Preview, but I was definitely tweeting about it. I said I wanted Carrasco to play a really deep, the number 6 role, just be right in front of the back four. And that way, Christian Higuita can be a little bit further up the field. He can tackle the ball, intercept the ball, just go about his ball-winning ways further up the field. And then he can, instead of just winning the ball at the edge of his own box and hoping that Kaká and Larin can do something at the top, Higuita was able to venture up the field farther, which just helped our possession in general. And when Carrasco's back there, which is different than Seren, Higuita just has that extra bit of, that comfortability that somebody else is behind me. If I don't, because I bet you Higuita runs around most of these games thinking, if I don't stop them, nobody's going to stop them. So, it's a lot of weight off Higuita's shoulders. I mean, people don't realize, and I've said it a million times on this show this season, but Higuita is our most important player. I mean, by far, mile, it doesn't matter. If Orlando City wins, Higuita probably had a good game.
All right. Well, that's all. I'm hoping Andre Blake doesn't play. This is we're gonna go to score predictions now. So I'll go first and I'll let you conclude. I'm hoping Andre Blake doesn't play. I think whether he plays or not isn't gonna make a difference. I think that we are gonna win at home again. One, because our performance versus Montreal was pretty convincing, and two, because I think we kind of have to. After this, we have a funky schedule for a couple weeks, and we got a couple away games in there coming up, and we're like off almost all of June except for 2 home games. So, I just think we have to win this game for the purposes of the standings. Everybody's bunched up, and I don't want us to be at the back of the pack when the bunch in the East starts to kind of trickle off in June and July. So I'm going to go on, and I'm going to project a 3-1 Orlando City win. I think Kyle Larin has a big game after the last one. I think he can. I think he gets streaky, and he knows New York City's coming up, and he's going to have a great game. And I also think we're going to get a great game from Molino. I would assume he was on the bench last time just for rest. He's still, although 100% fit, I think the recovering from knee surgery still deserves a little rest. So I think we'll get a good game from Molino as well.
Well, last week I was spot on with my 2-1 prediction. So I'm going to keep that exact prediction this week, 2-1. I do think Orlando City will win this week. I think that, Richie was talking about, if the Jamaican Jesus is between the sticks, then he's going to win. Well, first of all, Philadelphia's only picked up 4 points on the road this year. They only have 1 win in 5, so obviously he's not Jesus on the road. So, and they barely beat us up in Philly. So I think, like I said earlier, I think we match up with this team well. I think, and this prediction I'm making for Orlando City to win is based on a couple players not playing that we all hope don't play. If Adrian Heath goes and screws up the lineup, all bets are off. But if we get some combination of Rivas, Vinter, Molino up top, Heath really can't screw up the rest. So I think Orlando City's better. I would like to say a 2-0 or maybe a 1-0 game, but I still have a hard time thinking this team can keep a clean sheet. Even though with Alston back in there, we should be a little bit more solid. But I think 2-1. I think, like you said, Larin's streaky. I think he gets a goal, and I think we're doing PK. So I think Kaká will get the second one.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, guys, that's all for our time. Thank you for your time. You can find Ron and Sean's podcast, City Soccer Talk Live. They're probably going to be up any minute now, and usually they are on Wednesdays. So thank you, guys. Peace out. And Fan Cam's coming back this week, so come find me at Lot 11 after the game. I will not have a dead camera.
And we'll be back. What, on Thursday? When's our next preview?
Yep. We'll be back on Thursday previewing NYC with a new NYC guest. Andres and the Fan Podcast has retired, so you will see Mike from Blue City Radio. All right. Thanks again, guys. Later. Thanks, Ron.